The best shows in New York. Millions of people flock to New York City to see the best Broadway shows. Several Broadway musicals and plays are nominated for Tony Awards each season. Along with star-driven dramas and family-friendly blockbusters, Off-Broadway still has artistically ambitious and original offerings. Here are the best shows in New York City. Starting off the list is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Harry Potter's world has arrived on Broadway. The two-part epic Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, set 2 decades after the final chapters of J.K. Rowling's world-shattering hepatology, combines grand storytelling and stagecraft on an unprecedented scale. The lyric theater has been transformed from top to bottom to immerse us in the narrative. Based on a story he co-wrote with Rowling and Tiffany, Jack Thorne's play expands on the Potter story while staying true to its central themes. Its main values are love, friendship, and kindness, but they don't come easily. They are entwined with guilt, loneliness, and fear. Much of the stage is shrouded in mystery thanks to the set designer, Christine Jones, and lighting designer, Neil Austin, which allows for a constant stream of thrilling illusions and effects. When characters travel through time, the entire stage seems to quiver, and the audience with it. As flames surge, wands flash, and diaphanous dementors hover ravishingly in the air. Next is Dear Evan Hansen. What does a star look like when it is born? In the case of Ben Platt, the incredible young actor who plays the title role in Dear Evan Hansen is a little like giving birth. Beautiful but strange and wet, tinged with confusion and danger. Evan is painfully introverted. He has no friends in high school, and even thinking about talking to a girl he likes, Zoe, causes palms to sweat. Platt's performance encompasses his entire body. When he sings, his face frequently glistens with sweat. Nonetheless, the effect is not repulsive. Even is endearing, even when he makes terrible mistakes. His intense awkwardness is filtered through first-rate comic timing, higher-wire dramatic acting, and a gorgeously expressive tenor voice. He speaks in rushes of instant regret as if frantically digging a hole to bury himself in. And his intense awkwardness is filtered through first-rate comic timing, higher-wire dramatic acting, and a gorgeously expressive tenor voice. Next in line is Springsteen on Broadway. Springsteen has maintained a strong performance of authenticity for more than 4 decades. He writes unforgettable character songs and sings them as an actor. In between, he recites eloquently plain-spoken monologues, fullest of touch on joy, sex, and pain, for the character of Bruce. As a result, Springsteen on Broadway is not as much as a contradiction as it may appear. He performs a 2-hour solo musical about himself, a rock star cabaret act, dressed in a simple black with no band. It's an intimate and generous show, not only to past friends and collaborators, but also to the audience, inviting us on a cross-country journey that is now less about the gunning of his engines and more about the steadiness of his drive as he approaches 70. He manages to pull it all off. He understood. It's magical. Coming in next is the Book of Mormon. It seemed unlikely that the South Park creators could create a successful Broadway musical, but the Book of Mormon is, in a word, fantastic. The show is hilarious, heartfelt, and a roller coaster ride from beginning to end. The Book of Mormon, full of South Park style, potty humor, and some clever wit, has been surprisingly well received by a broad audience. Though admittedly offensive, the show strikes a balance that results in a far more laughter than offense, even among Mormon viewers. Finally, it's a light-hearted and entertaining show with excellent musical numbers. The sets and costumes are elaborate, as is the choreography. The show's original leads, Andrew Rannells and Josh Gad, have become stars in Hollywood and Broadway. Next is Les Miserables. Les Miserables, also known as Les Mis, is a sung-through epic about the French Revolution. The show, set in 19th century France, has a large cast and a beautiful, memorable score that includes songs. This musical began as a concept album, debuted in Paris in 1980. With Jean-Marc Natel and Herbert Kretzmer's lyrics and score and book by Claude Michel Skonberg and Elaine Boblil. Because of the universal appeal of the story of human struggle and societal change, the show has been received like no other worldwide. The show has been translated into 21 languages, including 4 Spanish versions and 2 Dutch versions. It tells the story of Jean Valjean, a peasant imprisoned for 19 years for stealing a piece of bread, and his quest for redemption as he relentlessly tries to elude a police inspector named Havert. This production is well known for its high-quality sets, costumes, and production values. The audience feels as if they have been transported to 19th century France, minus rats and stench. Before we continue the list, please do subscribe and hit the like button because it will really help us bring you more content. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out on our other great content. Let's continue with Wicked. Wicked is a spectacle, from the elaborate set design to the soaring score. Stephen Schwartz composed the music and lyrics, and Winnie Halsman wrote the book. It tells the story of Alphaba, a sweet and magically talented young woman with green skin who became known as the Wicked Witch of the West. Wicked is a new take on the Wizard of Oz classic story, told from the perspective of the Wicked Witch of the West. The show is visually stunning, and the Tony-nominated score will have you humming the songs for weeks. This epic musical, which plays in the massive Gershwin Theater, is a perennial favorite among theatergoers. The story has something for everyone, with themes of love, politics, and falling from grace, but especially acceptance and redemption. Written by Winnie Halsman and music and lyrics written by Stephen Schwartz. Next is The Phantom of the Opera. The Phantom of the Opera, which has been running at the Majestic Theater since January 9, 1988, is the longest-running Broadway show in history. It tells the story of a disfigured musical genius who hunts a French opera house until he falls in love with a young soprano named Christine Daae. The timeless tale of The Phantom of the Opera resonates with audiences of all ages and generations, evidenced by the show's seemingly inexhaustible success. Still, the Broadway production forgoes big celebrity names in favor of an ensemble cast that propels the show to incredible heights. This Broadway musical is a design masterpiece, winning numerous Tony Awards in 1988, including Best Scenic Design, Best Costume Design, and Best Lighting Design. Other Tony Awards included Best Musical, Best Leading Actor Performance, Best Featured Actress Performance, and Best Direction. A sweeping staircase, an ominously swinging chandelier, and a subterranean gondola that appears to float on water are all part of the stunning set. The choreography is flawless, and the score is timeless. The stage production, acting, and musical score are all as spectacular as they have always been. And it is clear that Phantom improves with age. Many Broadway fans will return to see the show more than once. Coming in on the list is the Jersey Boys. Bob Gaudio, an original member of the Four Seasons Band, had a brilliant idea of creating a musical based on events and songs from his singing career. He commissioned Rick Ellis and Marshall Brickman to write a musical about Frank Valli and the Four Seasons' meteoric rise. Although the singing group was hugely popular in the 1960s, it wasn't until the Broadway show that fans learned the true story about their favorite boys from Jersey. The choreography is sharp, and the narrative moves quickly, culminating in the effect of making you feel like you're back in the 1960s. And these guys are your best friends. This show is always a hit with the audience, and many guests return time and time again. Next is The Lion King. The Lion King is a 6-time Tony Award-winning Broadway musical based on Walt Disney's original hit film of the same name. In 2013, The Lion King surpassed both Wicked and Phantom of the Opera to become the highest-grossing Broadway production of all time. The original film's writers, Roger Ehlers and Irene Mitchie, who also wrote for Disney films such as Hunchback of Notre Dame and Fantasia, were rehired to write the book for this Broadway musical. In 1998, the book's authors were nominated for a Tony Award for their work. Sir Elton John, the UK's best-selling singer-songwriter and recording artist, wrote the music for the show, because he also wrote the songs for the original Disney film in 1994. Sir Elton John was nominated for a Tony Award for Best Original Musical Score for Broadway production. In the film version, he received an Academy Award for Best Original Song for his song Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And now, the top on the list is Hamilton. Since its debut, The Man's Story of the $10 Bill has been Broadway's #1 smash hit. Hamilton is a sublime combination of radio-ready hip-hop, under-dramatized American history, and Lin-Miranda's uniquely personal focus as a first-generation Puerto Rican and an inexhaustible wordsmith. It's no surprise that the show was dubbed a sensation before it even premiered. Assuming you don't know the basics, Hamilton is a mostly rapped-through bayou musical about an orphan immigrant from the Caribbean who came to New York, served as General Washington's secretary, fought against the Redcoats, authored most of the Federalist Papers defending the Constitution, founded the Treasury and the New York Post, and even made time for an extramarital affair that he damaged containment. All this activity and drama is taking place in the shadow of a foregone conclusion. Hamilton will be killed in an 1804 duel with Vice President Aaron Burr, a longtime rival and his tragic opposite in this Shakespearean reading. Whereas Hamilton is all about seizing the moment and making a statement, Burr is a passive, taciturn opportunist who lets life pass him by. Hamilton engaged audiences by casting Afro-American and Latino actors in the show's leading roles, allowing people to connect the front to the recent experiences of immigrants and people of color. Hamilton is one of the most exciting new musicals to arrive on Broadway in recent years due to this new approach. Watch this video and playlist next, and I'll see you in the next video.